All right, halftime report. Yeah, I like the big checks, you know what I mean? I feel like the guy that's out there in front of the gold, like we buy gold, come on in. Ow, how do they do that, you know?
When you see someone casually drop $20,000 on a single slot machine spin without breaking a sweat, you can't help but wonder, where is all this money coming from? For millions of viewers, Vegas Matt is the definition of high roller content. He's the guy walking into Vegas casinos with cameras rolling and chips stacked, pulling $100 bets like it's no big deal. But here's what most people don't realize. The real jackpot in Matt's life didn't come from a casino. It came from somewhere much deeper and way more controversial. Vegas Matt's real name is Stephen Matt Marraro, and long before he became a YouTube gambling sensation, he had already hit his first gold mine. Born in 1963 in Orinda, California, Matt studied business economics and hustled his way through sales jobs and Hollywood gigs. But it wasn't until he dove headfirst into the wild world of multi-level marketing, MLM, that his financial life really took off. Back in the 1980s and 90s, Matt wasn't just surviving, he was thriving in MLM. While most people were stuck in the paycheck-to-paycheck grind, Matt had already crossed the millionaire mark before turning 30. The company was Vemma Nutrition, a supplement-based MLM that promised big earnings for those who sold hard and recruited harder. And Matt, he played the game flawlessly. But years later, the Federal Trade Commission stepped in and shut it all down, calling it a pyramid scheme. The charges? Deceptive claims, predatory recruitment, and misleading thousands of young entrepreneurs. Vemma got fined and dismantled, but Matt, he walked away clean, with $7 million in the bank and not a single legal charge against him. He doesn't shy away from the controversy. In fact, he said point blank, "It's just weird that you make it sound like it's a crime or that I'm a bad person because I did MLM. Millions of people are in MLMs. It's annoying, but it's not illegal. And whether you agree or not, that one chapter set the stage for everything that followed." After MLM, Matt moved into real estate. It wasn't flashy, but it worked. Cash flow came in steady. He bought a home in Henderson, Nevada. He didn't need a job anymore, and he hasn't had one since his early 30s. But then came the twist no one saw coming. After decades of semi-retirement, he got bored, and instead of starting another company or jumping into another investment, he turned on a camera. In his late 50s, Matt began filming himself gambling at Vegas casinos. No fancy production, no real plan, just pure adrenaline. And it clicked. His first few videos blew up, and before long, Vegas Matt was born. A new kind of content creator, part showman, part strategist, and completely unapologetic. But here's where the income boost really starts to make sense. Because while he might lose $30,000 at a blackjack table, he's making far more on the back end. Ad revenue, sponsorships, merchandise, cross-platform monetization, it all stacks up. Public estimates suggest he pulls in between $100,000 to $1.5 million per year just from YouTube ads. Add in everything else, and we're talking about a $2 million yearly content machine. And that's before you factor in his ongoing real estate income, casino tournament wins, and decades of investments. Oh, and remember that massive $1.5 million World Series of Poker payday? That happened too. His current net worth? Analysts place it anywhere from $30 to $45 million. And yet, Matt still maintains that he hasn't worked a real job in decades. In interviews, he drops lines like, "I don't understand how people can work jobs they hate. Why don't they do something about it?" To fans, it's inspiring. To critics, it's tone deaf. But that's the duality of Vegas Matt, a guy who's both self-made and divisive. So what's really behind Matt's income boost? It's not luck, it's leverage. Years of smart decisions, early risks, controversial wins, and bold reinventions. While most of his audience watches for the rush, the reality is, Vegas Matt built a brand where the house doesn't always win. Because behind every jackpot is a businessman who knew exactly how to play the long game.